Today's event brings together the finest minds in education. Leaders who shape institutions, inspire generations, and pave the way for tomorrow's learners. It is an honor to host this collective of changemakers under one roof. At the heart of this initiative are the organizing committees, Skill Bay and Master Mind Abacus. Skill Bay is a premier 21st century skill development and training center dedicated to empowering children and individuals with the skills needed to thrive in today's competitive world and become performers of tomorrow. Headquartered in the heart of Siliguri at College Para, Skill Bay is committed to bridging the gap between formal education and essential life skills through high-quality, hands-on training programs tailored to meet the evolving demands of the modern workforce. So, as we begin Confluence 2025, let's open our minds to new possibilities, new collaborations, and together take a decisive step towards a space where boundaries blur and new possibilities take place. Partnering in this endeavor is Master Mind Abacus, a globally recognized skill development system that has enriched young minds across multiple countries and throughout India. Known for its structured modules, certified trainers, and child-friendly learning methods, Master Mind Abacus enhances mental math ability, concentration, memory, and overall cognitive performance. By transitioning students from physical tools to advanced mental calculation, it not only improves academic outcomes but builds lifelong confidence. Today, Skill Bay and Master Mind Abacus bring a shared vision of nurturing sharper minds, stronger skills, and brighter futures. Once again, a warm welcome to each of you. Thank you for being here. Let's make this confluence a truly transformative one. It is time to welcome the architect of this very foundation upon which this event is built, a man who didn't just see a gap in education, he built a bridge across it. A visionary who, with over 25 years in school education, possesses a deep and systematic understanding of the classroom. A postgraduate in physics and a dedicated faculty member at Delhi Public School, Siliguri. His commitment to education began not in a boardroom, but on the ground. From being a youth and student leader to working with alternative education for the underprivileged in the Khasi Hills, and contributing to the national policy as a part of NCERT's National Focus Group. He is, in every sense, a practitioner who turned into a pioneer. He saw the future of learning and decided to build it. And today, he is here as the founder and managing director of Skill Bay, the very engine of the 21st century skill development that has brought us all together for Confluence 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, I now request Mr. M.K. Maiti to present the keynote and welcome address.
Good evening, everyone. My great privilege to be here in front of you all, a galaxy of knowledgeous people, the leaders of school education, not only school education and beyond. So I would take this opportunity to welcome each one of you who are gathered here. On behalf of Mastermind and Skill Bay Siliguri, I would like to welcome Dr. S.S. Agarwal, who is the founder and principal of Siliguri Model High School. Actually, go to him, the man, that man, we all rely on for whatever official matters pertaining to CBSE or any other central examinations. He's the one whom we approach to every moment. Thank you for sparing your valuable time and be a part of today's occasion as a main speaker. Thank you so much, sir, and welcome to the gathering. I would like to take the opportunity to welcome Mr. Rajesh Jha, who is the Senior Vice President of Master Mind Tutorials Pvt Limited, for having taken his time out all the way from Indore and be with us Thank you so much. Sir, he is the mentor for all of us who are in Mastermind. So he is the guiding factor. Thank you for your time and be with us. Welcome to the congregation, sir. Most importantly, the galaxy of school leaders, the principals, vice principals, and the visionary edupreneurs. In fact, edupreneurs is now, common parlance in the education industry. On behalf of Mastermind and Skill Bay, we welcome you heartily for having consented to our invite and be a part of the mission in the form of today's gathering. Today, we come together not just as administrators of institutions, but as architects of a new learning landscape. The modern world presents unprecedented challenges and opportunities. The rapid evolution of technology, the changing needs of the global economy, and our growing understanding of pedagogical science demand that we need to look upon our approaches. Here, today's conclave is taking a step into creating a forum where we all can transact our understanding, our knowledge, our needs and demands of the society as far as school education is concerned, because it is our shared responsibility, and together we all can do it together. Over the next 1 hour or so we will delve into, with all your active participation, into critically analyzing and assessing the growing importance and demands of skill-based learning in 21st century schools, ranging from integrating skill education into formal school setup, to fostering inclusive and resilient school communities with an attempt to explore cutting-edge ideas, latest trends, technologies, and pedagogies that are revolutionizing the education landscape. The power of this event lies not just in the presentations you will hear, but in the conversations you will have. It is in the informal dialogues and shared experiences that most transformative ideas often emerge. As a community of educators, it is our shared endeavor to translate screen time into skill time. As school leaders, you are uniquely positioned to drive change, challenge the status quo, and create a brighter future for our students and communities. Your leadership matters, sir and ma'ams. It is quintessential and has a lasting impact on the lives of our students, colleagues, the community, and the country at large. As we embark on this journey, I encourage you to be open, curious, and proactive. Please share your experiences and be inspired by the collective wisdom of this gathering. Let us seize this opportunity to learn from each other, to grow together, and to shape the future of education. Welcome to this journey of discovery and growth. Together, let us shape tomorrow with a mission statement: empowering future, leaders shaping tomorrow. Thank you.
Moving on, our next segment is the true highlight of Confluence 2025. I now take the privilege to invite a personality who is not just an educator, but an institution in himself. A man whose illustrious career is a testament to a lifelong dedication to shaping the educational landscape of North Bengal and beyond. A visionary leader, an academic stalwart, and a name synonymous with excellence, Dr. S.S. Agarwal. With an eminent career spanning over 35 years, Dr. Agarwal has been the guiding force behind Siliguri Model High School Senior Secondary as the founder and serving currently as its principal, shaping countless young minds with his unwavering commitment to quality education. He is the president of North Bengal Sahodaya School Complex, a CBSE district training coordinator, and a city coordinator for numerous pivotal national examinations under both the CBSE and the NTA. His expertise is so highly sought after that he serves as a master resource person for CBSE, shaping pedagogical plans for principals across multiple states, and is a UNESCO, NCRT, and CBSE certified master trainer on health and wellness. Beyond the world of administration and education, he continues to serve the community as a practicing oral and dental surgeon. He truly embodies our tagline of blurring the boundaries between leadership and mentorship, policy and practice, and indeed between education and holistic well-being. It is with immense respect and admiration that I now invite on stage Dr. S. Agarwal. Sir, please.
Good evening to all. Until unless you respond, I will keep on saying good evening to all. Jai Hind. Bharat Mata ki. So the time slot given to me is just 15 minutes. And to confine this gigantic, the topic, we talked about, navigating the education in future scenario. It would be very, very difficult actually. It will be very, very difficult. So respecting the time allotment, I will try to confine within 13 to 14 minutes. So at first, my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed Matty sir, a very dynamic personality. And he is only the face I find in North Bengal, keeps smiling every time, round the clock. And I have never seen him actually with any stress in his face, on his face and mind. So thank you, sir, very much for inviting us to be part of the conference 2025. देख नहीं पा रहा हूँ इधर से. Can I come this way? I'm not able to see the slides, sir. Next. हाँ? ये दिया ना यहाँ पे? Cordless mic will do, I think. I'm not able to see. So, at first I would like to make one thing very clear to Matty sir. लोग कम आए हैं, कोई चिंता की बात नहीं है सर. और इसमें अच्छे प्रोग्राम को हजम करना सबके बस की बात नहीं है. So, we will definitely try to, give a specific outcome of our today's conference 2025. Now this is one slide actually. This slide is one, and it gives us some idea about the changes which we experienced in last decade, the last 10 years. So here somewhere we find the clue like the digitization of everything. Everything seems to be digitalized. This change we have seen in last decade actually. Ponder about all those things. Some feel troubled. Some are happy as they don't bother about it. They are the happy people. And those who think, they always find themselves, in a problematic areas. Next. Next. Back आइए. So if we see trend in modern education system, these are the data are required actually. Data are very much required so that we can understand like what is the actual change going to happen after 10 years if we correlate it with the changes in last 10 years. Here we can see that around 37% of the schools in India had a functional computer facility on campus in 2019-20. This is as per the UDICE data. Now, if we see the changes, next slide. If we see, then we find there is a radical, improvement in the system. It means we have accepted and adopted the technology. Now, in 2010 to 20, 39% of the schools have computers and 22% had internet connectivity. In 24-25 alone, this figure has risen to 64% of the school having computers and 63.5 have internet access. We can see here a radical jump actually, radical jump. So we keep concern regarding our own school actually. We don't bother what is happening in other school. But this is the data on pan-India basis and which the central government has to take care. Smartphones and internet penetrations in schools. Indian Express report, Indian Express report, Indian smartphone user base was expected to reach 83 crores by 2022. With more connected devices and cheaper data, students and teachers have greater access for online resources. Now from this graph, actually I am not going in details due to the paucity of time, the very limited time given to me, we can understand. So I need to mention two things very clearly. The future challenges which we are going to face, one is pertaining to technology and second is regarding the values. Regarding the values. Technology we have accepted, we have adopted, and today we find that AI seems to be master tool, and tomorrow it may not have any role. Some super master will come up. But as far as the values are concerned, the previous day also I said, values cannot be compromised in any of the era. Those are to be respected, maintained throughout. So these are the two big challenges. Next. So key trend in technological impact in schools, EdTech investment and online growth. As per the UDICE report 2025, the Indian EdTech sector saw a sharp rise in funding in recent years, which is approximately estimated to be 10 million, quite at par with global data. Reasons attributed for the steep rise was pandemic. Mainly during the pandemic, we got a boost. And that was, we got the Avsar. Apada mein Avsar. That gave a boost actually. And many of the people, even under compulsive situation, they had to adopt it. Next. Now if you see CAGR, same is compounding annual growth rate. CAGR, compounding annual growth rate. And this is a very, the good graph which indicates in the year 2033, and this market will reach to the 33.2 USD billion. So if we can see standing here in 2025, it is just 28 USD billion. So there is going to be, the huge changes in the market as per the technology is concerned. So there is no other way out other than adopting technology. Next. So this also indicates there is a rise of 17.3 CAGR, compounding annual growth rate. 17% growth is considered good growth actually. If you try to match it with the global data, 17% is quite good growth, and that our India is exhibiting. Next. CBSE schools, second edition, navigating the future of education with trends and predictions. Next. Now here this is one very important slide. Navigating the future of education with trends and predictions at par with the vision CBSE 2.0, where I am focusing only on the technology. I am not giving the generalized shape to it, only on technology. Only on technological aspect, how will it be navigated as far the future education is concerned. So education landscape is in the midst of seismic shift, driven by technological advancement and evolving pedagogical philosophies. As we stand at this crossroad, CBSE schools are at the forefront of adapting to these changes, poised to shape the future of education. This exploration delves into the imminent trends and insightful predictions that are set to chart the course of CBSE education in years to come. This is a very, very important assessment. But as per our interest to understand this is concerned, कि मानो तो गंगा माँ है, न मानो तो बहता पानी. We may not have any importance to this statement, but if we are really curious, keen to understand the true happening in the education scenario under the existing government, central government in particular, then we will have the major understanding about this statement. The global collaboration and cross-cultural learning is an increasingly interconnected world. CBSE schools are breaking down geographical barriers through global collaborations. We are not confined within our geographical boundaries. Net connectivity, AI, has given us the access to the global learning. So we will be able to develop parity in terms of the global standard. That has become only possible because of the internet connectivity. So CBSE are breaking down geographical barriers through global collaborations, virtual exchange programs, video conferencing with peers from different countries, and collaborative projects are fostering cross-cultural understanding. This exposure not only broadens students' horizons, but also prepares them for a globalized workforce. Many of the time we talk about making our children the global citizens. So in order to make them global citizens, there are two ways to adopt this. One is through getting some idea about their culture, the admix, and secondly, our access to their education. So both things become possible because of the existing scenario where we have the global collaboration. Sitting here, we can connect with the person sitting in the US. This is global collaboration. Now, predictions, forging the path ahead, integration of emerging technologies. As we look ahead, the role of emerging technologies in CBSE education is poised to grow. Artificial intelligence, AI, is predicted to play a pivotal role in personalizing learning experience. AI-driven analytics will provide educators with real-time insights into each student's progress, enabling timely interventions and support. In last week, I think in our summit, lot of things were discussed on AI. So here, the most advantageous thing pertaining to using the AI is it's in real-time feedback we get. When it is required, we are getting the real-time feedback. We will have this enough opportunity to go for the corrections. And if we try, put our efforts after 2 years, then it is of no use. So this is only possible by using AI, where real-time, the feedback we get, and we can take the corrective measures. Next. So here in continuation, from personalized learning pathways and virtual reality classroom to global collaborations and emotional intelligence, CBSE education is set to empower students with the skills and mindset required to thrive in an ever-evolving world. The future is being molded to nurture individuals who are not just equipped with the knowledge but are prepared to tackle challenges, forge connections, and lead with empathy in a world that demands nothing less than excellence. CBSE, for the last 2 decades, they have a declared policy. They don't want a handful of the center of excellence. They want each school to act as the center of excellence. They have their plan. Each school needs to show the performance. In Siliguri, if you have 40 schools, only 3-4 schools are extraordinary, will not serve the purpose. Each one will have to perform extraordinary. That is why center of excellence term has to be universalized. All schools. wherever the children study, no matter. The next. So change of environment, creation of STEM classrooms. For last few years, we have seen even the CBSE has also started giving more emphasis on STEM and STEAM education. Last year we got a lot of circulars, where we need to do lot of activities. It may be either, by inviting teachers from the other schools in our school, or inviting the speaker from other school, and then preparing the report, detailed report. And all these are the part of the STEM education. So now government has started giving more emphasis and importance to the STEM education. Not only they are talking about the STEM, simultaneously they are talking about the art integrated learning. They are also advising us to go with the activities where the visual art, performing art should also be made part of the learning. Because sometimes we have not taken seriously the art integrated learning and its benefit. I had the opportunity to learn in details the benefit. Truly it is amazing things actually. And this is something, is such a medicine which will give lot of relief to the child as far as the anxiety is concerned. If they are getting themselves involved with the art integrated project work. Now if you see the drivers of the factors initiating the change, students are, why this change to be accommodated in the STEM classroom? This is. So more adapt to technology, more adapt to e-learning, more adapt to professional learning, shaded off the communication barrier, accustomed to community learning, example Facebook learning, WhatsApp learning and all. And if you see the other part, then to develop interest and awareness about science, technology, engineering and mathematics in STEM education among teachers community. To develop 21st century skills like critical thinking, problem solving, decision making and reasoning, etc. among teachers community as recommended in new education policy NEP 2020. And to develop scientific approach, thoughts and points of view among teacher community. So this is a high time. We need to, motivate teachers also. Teachers are to be motivated to be the better teachers. And this is the high time. And for that teacher need to take the preparation. Only looking at the children will not help. So we have to correct ourselves first. If time, just inform me, 2 minutes before. Next. Over. Yeah, next. So just I'll complete here. Practical implementation of the new technology-driven classrooms, the STAY model. The mantra is EEE, Empower, Enrich, Excel. And the principles which work behind it are equity, curriculum, teaching, learning, assessment, and technology. Next. Next time. Here, this is very interesting actually. I will request Matessa to give me 2-3 minutes extra time. This is very important actually. These few slides are very close to my heart actually. Now, as far as the human brain and artificial intelligence, AI is concerned, the human brain and artificial intelligence are closely intertwined, with AI systems drawing significant inspiration from the brain structure and function. Please see with the focus, the very important slide. Next. Here's a breakdown of their relationship. Biological inspiration, AI systems, particularly neural networks, are modeled after the brain's neural structure. If you see the neural structure of the brain, our brain is comprising of the basic unit we call neuron. And if we see the AI design, that is also at par with the neural structure. This is the resemblance they have. Now, learning and adaptation, both the brain and AI system learn from experience, but they differ in approach. The brain uses experience-based and emotional learning, while AI relies on data-driven and logical processing. ये फर्क है इनमें. System एक है, पर थोड़ा सा फर्क है. That's why we say कि AI neither has empathy nor sympathy. It has neither emotions nor sentiment. That is only the difference. with the functioning of the human brain. Processing information, the brain processes information in a highly complex and dynamic way, whereas AI systems use algorithm and mathematical models to analyze data. This is the functioning of the AI. Now, collaboration and augmentation, rather than replacing human intelligence, AI is seen as a tool to augment and enhance human capabilities. AI can process large amount of data quickly and accurately. While humans bring creativity, empathy, and critical thinking to the table. The difference will always be there. Next. Now, similarly, both the brain and AI system can learn, adopt, and process information. The brain processing is highly context dependent, creative, and influenced by emotions, whereas AI system lack emotion, creativity, and true understanding. Next. Now, the future directions. With the neuromorphic computing researchers are developing brain-inspired AI system that mimic the brain's efficiency and adaptability. Brain-computer interfaces. AI is being used to decode brain signals and develop new treatments for neurological disorders. Medical science is getting advanced because of the intervention or presence of the AI, because the functioning is same. Cognitive science, the study of the brain and AI is leading to new insights into the human cognition and intelligence. Next. Now, transformation is rapid. The relationship between the human brain and AI is one of the mutual inspiration and collaboration, with each informing and enhancing the others. AI alone is nothing without brain. They are helping each other. They are drawing inspiration from each other. They are getting motivated from each other. अभी देखना ये है कि कौन surrender करता है. And the time when our brain surrenders, that will be the defeat of the humanity. Defeat of the humanity. That part we have to take care. So let them grow together. Considering that the humanity can never be, superseded by the mechanisms. Next. So there are large number of the tools and all. I'm not reading out. Next, चाहिए. So now abacus, a cognitive tool for the digital age. Abacus. This is very crucial actually. Now what is this all abacus all about? Next. The modern education challenge, digital dependence over reliance on black box calculators can prevent a deep, intuitive understanding of numbers. We use calculator. We are so much using the calculator, we are gradually losing the capacity to do the calculation by ourselves. Now, the second part, passive learning. Screen-based tools often provide instant answers, replacing the active process of thinking and problem solving. This is important. And then divided attention, constant digital distractions are shortening student attention spans and hindering their ability to deep focus. That is why, next, much needed analog tool for digital age. Whatever be the digital, the age we are proceeding, advancing towards, analog is very, very important. Analog means the continuity of the work. And that is possible, which will give a counter to the digital development, and where the human involvement will be there. The abacus is re-emerging not as a replacement for calculator, but as a brain gym. Brain gym. Sometimes we have the wrong calculations, no? And if we have the better understanding about it, then we can understand the very, very, the use of the abacus. That has no intention and purpose to replace anything, rather provides us a brain gym. Its tactile, active, and engaging process provides the perfect antidote to passive digital consumption, building a strong foundation for all other learning. Next. So builds the brain versus replaces it. Abacus training is a complete cognitive workout scientifically proven to enhance core brain function. So the calculator is a passive. The abacus is active. Calculator provides an answer. Abacus teaches a process. A calculator, the tool does the work. The brain does the work. This replaces the mental process. This builds new neural pathways. That is why Abacus has got the multiple, the numerous advantages, undoubtedly. If you are not able to understand, then this one slide is good enough for us to be aware regarding this specific utility. Next. So Abacus foundation, not rival. The goal is not to replace technology, but to build a human for it. The Abacus builds the mental hardware, focus, logic, memory. Digital tool provides the software, access to information, advanced application. A brain trained on the Abacus can better, leverage the power of modern technology. Next. So in a world of digital distraction, the focused, tactile and the mindful practice of the Abacus may be more essential than ever. When we talk of the analog, we are not doing any calculation by ourselves now. We just take out the mobile, 2 plus 2, 4, 3 into 2, 6. Everything is done by the calculator. So we are gradually losing our own capacity. And calculator is helping us to give the answers, but Abacus will give us the process. Next. With this only I try to confine within the allotted time. Thank you very much. If you have any question, I will take up. Thank you so much.
If there are any questions, you may please address them to sir.
Not a question, but just an add-on. I mean, it's something that I believe that Abacus is actually a technology. Like technology is a tool, like I was also mentioning while any instrument or any mechanism that helps us solve problems or helps us to do it easily is a tool. So, in a way, Abacus is also a kind of technology in its simplest version maybe. May not be many wires and electric and all are not included in it, but in its the very simplest form, Abacus is a technology. And like you rightly said, Dr. Govalji, Abacus does strengthen the mind, and if the mind is strong, then problems can be solved easily. Because we must know that Abacus doesn't help us solve the maths, but it helps to learn calculation quickly, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that way it's a very simplest form tool which helps us to process and learn calculations. So I believe it is only at par on the line of technology, never a contradiction.
Thank you, ma'am, for your addition. To sir, thank you for your words. That was incredibly enriching, and thank you for your perspective. Now, overseas masterminds operations not only across India but also in 17 different countries. His strategic vision and operational mastery have propelled the company to new heights on both regional and global arena. Yet, if you were to meet him, you might not immediately guess the scale of his responsibilities. Because beyond the titles and the transcontinental reach, he is described by all who know him as a man of profound humility, a genuine soul who remains firmly connected to his roots. It is this rare blend of corporate acumen and authentic human connection that makes his perspective so invaluable for us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a leader who truly embodies modern compassionate leadership, Mr. Rajesh Jha.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Respected leaders, owners of the school, the principals, vice principals. I'm really delighted to be here with all of you today. First, for inviting my invitation to be with all of you. And the second is the kind of, things that we have to do for our children. I think this can be a body which can really help the children in the long run. If you look at today's scenario, the topic that has been given to me is the skill development in the 21st century. A very difficult, but I would say it's very easy on the other side. We together can, join hands and see how we can take it further. Before we go into this, if you look at the challenges of the society, which Dr. Agarwal was also hinting at, if you look at the perspective of the children, they are having a very tough life because they are accustomed to certain, technology, which Bab was also telling, to such an extent that, getting out of it is very, very difficult for them. But on the contrary, if you look at the scenario or the things that is happening to the children, can you please? Now the problem with the children is the jobs are changing faster than the textbooks for them. If you look at the NEP 20, where a lot of focus is given on the skill education, mainly for the kid. Now, this NEP also emphasizes a lot on the skill development that is required. The schools are not preparing the students nowadays only for the exam or the marks. They have to prepare the student for their lifetime. They have to build their life. I would say that skills, overall, if you see, it matters more than marks for the child. Because as Dr. Agarwal was also telling, we have to empathize with the child in terms of their emotional values, which is also very, very important in dealing with the student. To understand the skill, we have to understand it in lieu of the knowledge. We have to understand the difference and the similarities between knowledge and skill. If you look at knowledge, it's something that the child acquires. And if he has to, talk about the skill, it has to be actually practiced. If they don't practice, that knowledge cannot be used potentially. Then if you look at other areas, the knowledge is basically a passive understanding of the subject, whereas if you look at the skill, it is having something like, interactive learning, which is very, very important. Knowledge is based on the memory of the child, whereas if you look at the skill, it is based on the practical application of the things that is doing. The most important thing about knowledge is it fades with time. Whereas if you talk about skill, it becomes a lifetime asset for a child. Having said all these differences, but these two factors also complement the child, both the factors, knowledge and skill. They can complement the child in the sense that if you look at skills, these are something where the child can utilize the knowledge to the fullest potential. And for that, skill is the most important ingredient that is required. So I would say they complement each other. So we cannot either ignore the knowledge or we cannot ignore skill. Let's go hand in hand. There is a myth that most of the time, we heard people saying that, skills are inborn. A child who is good is always good. Whereas, if you really look at the reality, these skills are trainable factors which are very, very essential for the child, and it can be developed. That is also a fact. So basically, we have to break this myth that skills are inborn. We can together develop the skills of the individual or the children for that platform. We often say, okay, it's okay. This can be done through brain development. The brain neuropathy, if we work on those areas, as Dr. Agarwal was telling, similarly, we can do that. Now, looking at the human brain, as we all of us know, it is divided into two parts, the left and the right brain. It is said that every brain, right and left, they work on different aspects of the functioning. Like for example, if I talk about the right brain, which is also a kind of a creative brain. It deals in functions like creativity, imagination, visualization, memory, and if you look at the colors and arts, all these things are a part of the function of the right brain. Whereas if you look at the left brain, it involves into a lot of critical thinking, analyzing things, then counting, sequence, numbers, all these are the functions of the left brain. Now, as you all know that the brain is made up of neurons. And if we really have to get that skill developed with the child, it is very, very important that you are able to work with both parts of the brain. Because if you are just using on the left part of the brain, you are just looking at the, what do you say, it means basically the critical aspect of the life or logical thinking. Mostly the schools work on the left part of the brain. They are not working on the creativity aspect of the child. That means the right brain function is used, I would say, not more than 5 to 10%, maximum side. And right brain is a very important brain because this is underdeveloped and it is based on the usage of hands. If we are able to do something where, right and left brain, both the brains work together, we can see dramatic results in terms of skill development. That is a fact. And memory, problem solving, decision making, all these things are a part of the skill which can really, really help the child in the long run. There is a very basic thing about brain. The first thing is, it works like a muscle. The more you use it, the better it is, the outcome of the brain. Then you also can strengthen the brain by doing a lot of practice, repetition in your life. And then you can develop the neural pathways for processing, for better processing and better results. And skill development isn't a magic. It's a science that involves the usage of both parts of the brain. I was listening to ma'am about the thing she was discussing about the technological aspect of abacus. Let me tell you, ma'am, one thing. It's very sad to tell it here, but the fact is, abacus is not a program to learn mathematics. It is actually, it's a myth that has been created because what happens is tangibly you cannot see anything. You cannot see any kind of brain development tangibly. But what you can see is you can see maths with the child, doing the calculations very fast. So practically speaking, it has got nothing to do with the technology. It's a pure science. I'll tell you the basics what happens with the brain development. Basically, this program or brain development can happen at the age of somewhere around 4 to 14 years. That is the brilliant age to develop the brain. Simple logic, ma'am, is that this is a program wherein we activate the neurogenesis ability of the brain. Once that happens, automatically the brain function improves, there is a development in the brain, and the outcome is the skill development. And what we do in abacus also is, we basically work on both parts of the brain. And because we are doing it with numbers, the mental calculation that you see with the child is a short-lived benefit. But the long-term benefit for abacus is actually the development of the skills, which remains with them for his entire life. That is the basic difference. Like as I said, the golden age is between 4 to 14 years. this is the area of peak neurogenesis. The brain connections are multiplying rapidly during this age. Example can be like, if you look at languages, or maybe, certain things, mathematics, whatever you have learned at that age, you never forget in your entire life. That sets in. Or maybe, ABCD, poems, whatever the child learns. That is an entire lifetime asset for the child. That is because of the neurogenesis happening at that age with the children. Whatever child learns during this age is a lifetime asset. I would like to show you an example of this. Okay, in my next slide, what I'll do is, I will be showing you some words that will be written in different numbers. I would like to have a volunteer among anybody of you. And what you have to do is, you don't have to read the word that is written there. You have to tell me the colors in which it is written. You will be able to see the difference of the brain functions. Sir, can I take your... Please be seated, sir. Next. Start, sir.
Black, yellow.
No, sir, I said word, colors.
It's in red, yellow, green, blue, black, then again red, green, blue. But this is, you can say, violet one way, and red, green, red, blue.
It is shading problem? Really? My job is half done. You all took that, timeline what he has taken. Now I'll tell sir to do the same exercise with the words. Please read the words. I'll give you 5 seconds.
Black, yellow, green, white, green, red, green, blue, yellow, pink, red.
Wonderfully done. Anybody else would like to try? Sir. Color. You have to tell the color, not the word.
Red, yellow, green.
No.
Red, yellow,
No.
blue, black, red, green, black, blue, yellow, red, green, red, blue.
Now tell the words. Words.
Word, red.
No, you start with black.
Okay. Black, yellow, green, white, green, red, green, blue, yellow, pink, red.
Thank you. Can you take it back? Back. Anybody else would like to try? Yeah. Okay.
Red, yellow, blue.
No.
Red,
Ha-
yellow.
oh.
Red, yellow, blue, black, red, green, blue, brown, yellow. Sorry, red, green, red, blue. Now words. Black, yellow, green, white, green, red, green, blue, yellow, pink, red.
What happened in the first instance? That we have to understand. When you talk about the words, this activity is done by the left part of the brain. What I can analyze from all of you, whatever we have done today, I can see the left brain function of the individual is far more better than the right brain. When you look at colors or visualization, that is the activity of the right brain. Usually when the child is coming to you in your school, most of the time you will see that the child will have a predominantly very active left brain. But when it comes to the right brain activity, it's not that good. But some children will be good also, depending on the hand that they are using. Okay, so this gives us a basic insight that both the brains do not function together in the same capacity. One brain is better than the other. I feel that the school should basically concentrate on certain skills which can give a lot of value to the children. Like for example, concentration, the listening ability of the child, which has come down like anything. Logical reasoning ability is also very important. it is a function of the left brain. Then if you talk about visualization, that is also very, very important for the child. Photographic memory, recall abilities, and confidence level of the children. I firmly feel that if you are able to make the child self-confident, you don't have to do anything else with the child. That factor of self-confidence itself will be play a vital role for a lifetime asset for a child. What we are missing in the traditional teaching, what I would say is, the current problem is, we are not giving the child role learning. There is no practical aspect to it. Then we are basically focusing on the exam and the marks for the child, and more information and less skill building. Whereas what is needed to the child is more of a structural tool that can stimulate the brain growth for the children. I know that all the educators available here, they already know about abacus. Let me give you a brief understanding how the brain gets developed. You will be able to understand it very easily. See, what we are doing in abacus is very, very simple. We are allowing the child to use both the hands on the tool of abacus. When the child is using right hand, his left part of the brain gets developed. When it is left, the right part of the brain gets developed. When you saw the brain functions, basically what happened in this brain function was that the child is first dealing with numbers. That is the base of abacus, ma'am. So what they do is, they take the number. The number will always be read by the left part of the brain, not the right one. And he will convert these numbers into image. This image conversion will happen on the right side of the brain. That means you are giving a kind of an exercise to the left and the right brain together. That is what is called as brain gym. You are giving an exercise to the brain. When you do that, automatically the neurogenesis activity in the brain improves. The generation of neurons improves. And once that is done, brain growth is possible. That is what has to be done. So skill development is not something, which is, I would say, technology, but it is purely a science. Abacus, what we are doing is the same exercise of the left and right brain with image, numbers, neurogenesis. Then we are improving the benefits like concentration, memory, speed, accuracy. It's not a calculation tool at all. It is a scientifically designed brain exercise for the kid with abacus. Child is listening to numbers from the left brain, converting the number to the image on the right brain. The mental activity happens, neurogenesis happens, and with repeated practice, he develops a very good confidence on the skill development process. Neural pathways become very, very strong. Schools nowadays, they are producing toppers. But skill development, if you really develop with the children, you can produce leaders. So that should be our aim with this conference. And I would like to thank all of you for the wonderful time that you have given me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, sir. The clarity that you brought to this topic was really amazing.